Episode 128 of Dragon Ball Super was breathtaking.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
The first half of this episode hits the emotional core of what is Vegeta's character and what his relationship is to Universe 6 and what his relationship is to his family. Vegeta finally comes full circle and develops as a character that actually loves and gives a shit about his family. In the episode, we see him go at it time and again. He cannot go into Beyond Blue. He cannot go into Super Saiyan. And in his base form, he's trying to take down Jiren, only to be time and again swatted away like a fly. Even at one point, he's about to fall off, but his leg gets hooked onto a piece of rubble of the arena, and then we get Hiromi Tsuru's Bulma talking to him, telling him to get up, go back into the fight, and he has one of the best lines, "Won't you let me sleep?" It is just so emotional, the beginning of this episode, and honestly, where the last episode had the ambiguous blowing up scene of 17, the emotion for me really wasn't there too much. If anything, it really wasn't there at all because I didn't know that he had exploded up until I had to rewatch it again. But with Vegeta, this whole entire sequence, especially with the loss of Hiromi Tsuru and her lines, and him thinking back of Bulma, of him talking to Kaba, of the baby, of Trunks, all his flashbacks just made this moment even more spectacular. And the fact that, you know, as a father just like me, that he can't do anything, he's powerless, and he gives up all his energy, or the last bit of his energy, all his hopes and his dreams into Goku, which is his rival, for him to go ahead and take down Jiren was amazing. And he even cries. The last time I remember seeing Vegeta cry that was in canon was back in the Frieza saga, when he knew that he couldn't defeat Frieza, and then Frieza ended up killing him, and he's spouting off all about what Frieza did to the Saiyan race. It was just so amazing. And for anybody who's saying that Vegeta got shafted or Vegeta didn't get the climax or you know, was one-upped again by Goku, that's been the history of Dragon Ball. That is always Vegeta apparently at this point, but he owned it in this episode, and it just all built up. Whoever directed this episode, this is one of my favorite Dragon Ball episodes of all time. I'm just throwing it out there. I might be overhyping it, but it was just so visually striking. The story was so impactful. Even the act of him giving his last bit of energy to Goku was just so tear-jerking. Like, I felt emotion. I was invested. I could not turn away 1 second from this episode. And that's what this episode really did well, is that it developed these characters that we've seen throughout the tournament, and it even developed the themes that we've seen somewhat throughout the tournament. Even Jiren's whole "I am the only one, I cannot trust anybody else, and I have to get things done" approach was completely contrasted by Goku's "I have everybody relying on me, I need to do it for them." And you could see these two distinctions very clearly, and now I'm starting to get a sense into more of what drives Jiren, what was driving Goku, and it was just amazing. Even when Goku got back into the fight, I mean, he was Super Saiyan Blue for a split second, but he was obviously kicked out of it, and we all knew that he was going to go back into Ultra Instinct, and he does, but they've done it. They've done it every single time. Ultra Instinct, this transformation that I didn't think I would love so much, every single time that it's about to be on screen, they do it well. They do it so epically. The song comes up, you know what song is about, you know what's about to happen when you hear that song, and just the scenery, the visuals, they're just so well done whenever it comes to the transformation. The original transformation when he first fought against Jiren was amazing. It was very much Dragon Ball Z, but it was amazing. Then when he fought against Kefla and he went into it out of nowhere. I mean, if you hadn't been watching the spoilers or reading the spoilers, then you wouldn't know he would have jumped right into it, and it was awesome. And then we get this scene where we get this song. It's a brand new song when he's thinking about everybody. He's thinking about everybody in the stands. It was so emotional because of the fact that right at the end we get Vegeta's giving away his energy to him, and it just Vegeta, oh my god. Honestly, guys, I gotta tell you, I love Goku Black. You guys know that. You guys know that's where I wrap my channel around. But Vegeta is by far one of my most, if not, I think at this point, my favorite character in Dragon Ball, because of just the arc that he had. This episode, the ending of Super, is just, it all fits so well with him and his character, and how much he's grown from just the Saiyan saga alone. So it was just fantastic. But again, going back to this song comes on. This song reminds me so much of something you hear on Bleach. It was very non-Dragon Ball Z-ish, but it was just, it fits so well. And then we get him going into Ultra Instinct, and he pops up right behind Jiren, and he blocks all of Jiren's attacks, only to deliver automatically, without seemingly moving a muscle, punching Jiren what looks like right in the liver. And he finally has a pain. He finally feels pain. This is the first time I've ever seen Jiren's face in that much agony, similar to what, you know, Goku and Vegeta do to Frieza on a regular basis. He's actually feeling it, and I think this, at this moment, is when the series is telling you, yes, Jiren's gonna lose. And the reason it's telling you that, I know Jiren's a powerhouse. I know he's got energy out the ass. I know he's got reserves. But ever since that initial confrontation with Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku, I think that his power level has been wearing down. I think that's why as soon as he was done fighting Hit, he had to go meditate, because he had to alleviate his energy and his ki reserves, because they were that much depleted for the next fight. And I think his body's finally seeing it. That's why in these later episodes with Jiren, he doesn't seem as imposing. He's still powerful, but he doesn't seem like that imposing like he did at the beginning of the Tournament of Power. He's not as intimidating, I guess. And that's because his body is feeling the effects of this prolonged tournament against these foes, and you can definitely see it. As far as Goku's transformation, we do get a hint of it in the preview of the next episode. We get even the preview. I mean, I'm gonna rope in the preview along with this episode, because it is tied to the episode, even though it's for the next episode. But the preview, like, it kept me engaged. It was just one of the best previews that I've seen so far. It showed everything that's gonna happen, is basically with the fight against Jiren, but in very small bites, with me begging to ask for more of what's gonna happen in between. And then at the very end, we get to see that the new transformation, or the new form, whatever you want to call it, mastered Ultra Instinct. His hair goes white, and it's not white like I thought it would be. It's actually glowing white, and if it stays like that, I know, you know, it could be part of the form where it just glows white and then it stays white, but if it just ends up glowing the entire time, I would be 100% fine with that, honestly, guys. This episode was one of my favorite, again, episodes, to repeat it, of all of Dragon Ball, and I gotta give this 7 out of 7 Dragon Balls. I would give it 14 out of 14 Dragon Balls, throwing in the Black Star, throwing in the Mecha Dragon Balls as well, and to get that number even higher, because again, if this is what we're looking forward to the ending of Dragon Ball Super, then my doubts and reservations are alleviated by worrying that they're gonna screw up the ending of Dragon Ball Super, because this episode was just so finely done that I now have more faith going into the next episode. And after that, I believe we only have 1 or 2, maybe even 3 more episodes left, and then that's the end of Dragon Ball Super. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of episode 128 Dragon Ball Super. Let me know what your favorite part of the episode was. I'm really curious to see where you guys stand. What was your favorite part? What did you guys like the most? Make sure to drop me a like if you like what we've seen with the new transformation, a little 2 to 3 seconds of that transformation. Do you guys like the way his hair glows like that? Drop me a like if you do. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. I put out discussions, theories, spoilers, reviews, weekly, sometimes daily. So let me know, guys. Again, on all those fronts, this is going to be Dragon Ball Black signing off.